I got a secret for you. I got a secret that is going to sound like a self-help book. It's the secret to unlocking joy as a Christian. And like, Kirsten, there's a lot of people out there talking about how to do it in 30,000 different self-help books, and you're right, but it is so much simpler than they make it. Welcome to Coffee with Kirsten, and today we're talking about the discipline of celebration, the most fun discipline there is. It's my favorite one, but a lot of people don't consider it a discipline when they should. So the discipline of celebration, what is it? Well, this is the discipline of choosing thankfulness, gladness, appreciation, of being happy. This is the discipline of choosing to see the glass half full instead of half empty. This is the optimism discipline, to see and experience joy in the world. Now, Christ calls us to this. We're supposed to be joyful in all things. We're supposed to sing joyful praises. We're supposed to be joyful and glad about God. If you're like me, growing up, I was like, okay, you're telling me to be joyful, but how am I supposed to get there? You're just telling me the end product. Well, I have the between stages for you here today. Let's dive in. So, let's turn back to when Kirsten was a teenager in high school. Chronic complainer. I was always complaining about the weather, about the things I had to do, about my homework. And if I wasn't complaining out loud, I was a very negative thinker. I was always thinking negative about people, places, things I was doing, that there was people standing too close to me in the grocery line. Was very hard for me to think positive. And when Arwa and I started dating, he would say to me, all you do is complain. Like, you need to get this together a little bit. I don't want to listen to you complain all day. And it sounds harsh, but I needed it. And the more I started to pay attention to how negative I was, the more I was like, ooh, how has this guy been putting up with me for so long? So I decided, okay, I don't like that I complain so much and that I'm so negative. How do I become more positive? Well, it's not that you just choose to be. That's why it's a discipline. Our brains are naturally wired to see negative things. So it is a lot easier for our brain to pick out negative, to complain, to see the glass half empty. It's actually a brain chemistry thing. But the more that you start to think positive, to be grateful, and do all those kinds of things, then your brain starts to rewire itself, and you actually do become a more positive person. There is hope. There is hope for the church people. How do we do this? Well, first we start off by doing the disciplines. This is kind of circular. So, the disciplines lead us to a deeper relationship with Christ. A deeper relationship with Christ makes us realize the battle is already won. The price is already paid. I have eternal salvation. All I have to do is show up. Christ has already done it for me, so why am I so grumpy about things? As we start to learn that more, we become more thankful for God. God, thank you so much for the sunshine today. Thank you for all the blessings I have, the food on my table, the roof over my head. And even being thankful is a discipline, and hardwiring ourselves in our relationship with God to be more thankful. And that comes out of the disciplines. And as we get these disciplines, we become more joyful. And a product of that joy is celebration. It's so easy to look at people in the church today, and we are famous for being curmudgeons, for being grumpy, for getting mad when you sit in somebody's pew on Sunday. Heaven forbid you don't have to sit in the same spot for 25 years. But we have to be able to choose gladness and thankfulness and joy and friendship and love. So, how do we get started down that path? Well, it's really simple, and the self-help books they're right there. They're right there. They're just missing the key component of Christ, which is a pretty big key component. So how do we start this? So the first thing you could do is be thankful. Be thankful for things. People think that like gladness or thankfulness journals are super cheesy, but it is such an easy way to start being more positive. Write down 3 things every day that you are thankful for. They don't have to be these grand things. It can be like my dog, the sunshine, the good dinner I had, right? Start with 3. Just be thankful in the discipline of joy, even when you had a bad day. Sometimes this is hard. Sometimes it's hard to be thankful, but appreciate what you have. Even in hard times, like in the coronavirus, I'm thankful for all the hiking I've been able to do because everyone's been home. I'm thankful that I get to see RY and stay with my dog more. You know, I'm thankful for more home-cooked meals because we're not all rushing here, there, everywhere. It's simple things like that. And it's choosing things like not being negative and being thankful that RY cooked dinner instead of looking at the stove and seeing that there's grease splatters everywhere. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's being thankful in all things. It also is able to be done by laughing. I know, who would have thought it's that simple? We as Christians need to learn to chill out a little bit. Jesus told jokes all the time. The parables are full of funny stories. He was constantly telling jokes to people that, quite frankly, a lot of them would go over people's heads. But if God has a sense of humor, you should probably have a little bit of sense of humor, right? We need to be able to, come down off of our high horse and laugh at ourselves. I'm a klutz. I fall all the time, or I say the most ridiculous things. It just comes out of my mouth. I'm like, what was I saying? Learn to laugh at yourself. We also need to make time for family and friends. This is a great way to celebrate and do the discipline of joy. When we actively choose to spend time with our friends and family, in doing things like playing cards, it gives me so much joy when I just go over to my mother-in-law's house and we go over and we have dinner and we play cards all night. It's great. Go to baby showers. Go do birthday parties. Do birthday parties when it's not a birthday ending in a 0 or a 5. Just do them for fun. Hold parties for no reason. I love doing Belgian waffle bars at my house. So I make all the Belgian waffles and you just bring your favorite waffle topping. And it's so much fun. And it's a discipline. And it gives me so much joy and gladness to have my friends sitting around my table enjoying a meal with me. This is why I love youth ministry. Do crazy parties. Dress up. Have an 80s night. Right? People don't think it's weird that you want to dress up in neon leggings and leg warmers when you're in youth ministry. But do it because it brings you joy. God wants you to have joy. He wants you to be joyful. He wants you to laugh. He wants you to have fun. Don't think just because you're all grown up with a big girl job now that you don't have to do those things. It's fun. As well, we can celebrate by enjoying culture. God is a creator. He's a crafter. He handmade everything. So that means it's a good thing to go to Picklesburg because God made cucumbers and vinegar and he wants me to eat a bunch of pickles because it brings my heart so much joy to eat Carol's dips on the bridge. Go to food festivals. Go and do things in your community. Go to the pool. Go to the library. Enjoy culture. Go see plays. Go see a movie. Go enjoy things that are part of creation. Things that bring you joy will bring you thankfulness, which will give you a happy heart, which will give you perspective. It's just that easy. People, get out of your house and do some stuff. As well, celebrate other people. Celebrate your dad on a random night in November instead of just on Father's Day. Do something for your pastor when it's not Pastor Appreciation Week. Celebrating other people helps us to communicate our thankfulness. It helps us to serve other people. It pulls in all these disciplines, and it makes them happy, and God smiles when we make other people smile. Celebration gives us the strength to go through all the yuck in life. Right? What's the point of doing all these things, of celebrating, of being joyful, of going to movies, of looking forward to things? It helps us get through the day. There's a lot of evil in the world. There, especially right now, is a lot of really negative things going on. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't participate in making the world a better place, or that we shouldn't acknowledge those, hard emotions. But I'm also saying we should celebrate things. We should be happy when we watch, RY eat Schweinhocks in this giant pork knuckle at Hofbrauhaus, because it brings him so much joy. When we have the strength to get through the day and be happy and glad about it, it makes the disciplines easier. And when the disciplines are easier to do, we grow more in Christ because we actually feel like reading our Bible and spending time with Him. When we spend time with Him, we grow more, we appreciate things more, and it's this beautiful cycle. But joy is something that we talk about having all the time, but not how to get there. And people write tons and tons and tons of books about how to get there, and it really is that simple, people. So my challenge for you today: celebrate something, say hi to your friends, go play cards, play board games, go out to the park, go out and watch a movie. And I know all of these things are hard right now, but just try and find something that you're thankful for, and that's a cool part of creation. Go eat pickles. They're great, people. You should love vinegar. It's a great part of creation. Life and the disciplines are not supposed to be a hardship. They're hard, but they shouldn't be something that brings a lot of negativity to your life. And that's the spiritual disciplines. A lot of them are hard, but then we get great things like joy. So, that's all I have time for today. Now, public service announcement. I'm going to be taking a break from Coffee with Kirsten for a while, because youth group is starting back up again. I'm so excited. Get to see all my favorite people again. But that means I'm also going to be teaching every Sunday, which doing this and teaching. So Coffee with Kirsten will be back. I have loved doing these videos, and they've been a lot of fun. So I'm going to do them just on my spare time because I can. So we'll be back, and we'll be answering some big questions, like questions in the case for faith, like, why does God send people to hell? How does evolution fit in with my Christianity faith? All of that good stuff. Love tackling the big questions. So that's all I have for spiritual disciplines today, but I hope you will join me again in July as we pick this back up. Thanks so much, guys.